Texas has experienced historic flooding. As of the time of making this video, this flooding has claimed over 100 lives. This is a tragedy. Unfortunately, with this tragedy, I see a ton of mis and disinformation being spread around social media. I'm making this video to just simply go over the facts of the event and give you something you can share with someone when they say they don't know what happened with the flood or they're curious about it. So let's talk about it a little bit. I wrote down some notes. I've been reviewing a bunch of different news sources, looking at aerial footage, maps, etc., trying to get my own understanding of the event that I can now share with you guys. So I'm going to be referencing my notepad that's in my lap a couple of times throughout the video. So let's get into it. First, I want you to understand that this was a slow-moving tropical storm-based situation. There was leftover moisture from a hurricane. When you have a lot of moisture and thunderstorms move slowly over an area, those storms can dump an insane amount of rain. Let's talk about the amount. The models were forecasting in some areas 10 plus inches of rain total. Some areas got that much rain even in one day when this was a multi-day event. So the models did in fact under forecast this, but that didn't really matter ultimately. Let's talk about why that is. In this case, slow-moving thunderstorms can produce up to 6 inches of rain per hour. There's nothing anyone can do about that, especially when that thunderstorm is sitting over a river dumping that water out. One of the things that I've seen going around social media is that budget cuts from President Trump are causing the flood to be more serious than it is, or something to that effect. While I am not any means a fan of the budget cuts, that is not what happened in this case. There were 5 forecasters on shift overnight, and let's talk about the warnings that went out and the watches that went out. A flash flood watch was issued the day before in the afternoon at around 1:18 p.m. Central Time. So they are already notified the day before that there was in fact potential for flooding. The morning of, let me look at my notes. The morning of, it looks like the first flood warning went out at 1:14 a.m. I want you to understand that this flood warning would have included a push notification to cell phones. There were people at a camp near the river that just didn't have their cell phones. At 5:34 a.m. at this point, it's already there's already devastation unfolding. But at 5:34 a.m., the highest alert, a flash flood emergency, went out from the National Weather Service. This is the highest level of alert they can issue out. So to recap, a watch went out the day before, and multiple warnings were issued throughout the night. There were forecasters on shift, and they did their job. They did it well. To imply that budget cuts caused warnings not to go out is disrespectful to the people who were on shift and did their job and did it well. It is not their fault that the message was not received. Let's talk about that a little bit. There are no sirens for flooding, just for tornadoes. Now, here's where it gets crazy. In 2017, and this is something I just saw on one news source, so fact check this, please. But in 2017, the politicians in the area discussed having an early warning system for floods that would include sirens, and it was scrapped for being too expensive to taxpayers. This is reminiscent of a town in Oklahoma that voted against storm shelters for their elementary school, and that school then got destroyed and kids died. I hate that this is something that is being repeated with even a much larger death toll this time. Unfortunately, when we vote against our own best interests because of profit and money, and we vote to do something that's not going to really make us money but would still protect us, that's not something that's popular. That's something that people see and they don't understand the impact until it's too late. In this case, that impact is over 100 dead people. Many of them are children. Take the weather seriously. Take the warning seriously. Apathy gets people killed.